Hi, we are Christy and Kara, and we are the owners of Modern Farmgate. We'd love to introduce you to Modern Farmgate's mission, which is connecting local farmers directly to customers, and we emphasize the gateway to goodness. We do that because of several reasons. Because we know that the direct correlation between customer-farmer relationships are absolutely mandatory, and that fresh local food is 100% the way to healthy products. Today we're introducing another few points about our business, and I'm going to have Kara jump in here and share a little bit more about what we're talking about today.
For sure. We're super excited about this new project. What we are doing is we have found as many farms and farmers markets and retail stores as we could across Canada who are supplying like local food, and we've made it a lot easier to find them all in one handy spot with our map and listings project. However, um, sometimes we're finding, people out there, farms, everyone's not keeping their online information up to date. And so I guess kind of what our ask is right now is for people, if you own one of these types of businesses, if you want to claim your listing and then you're able to update and correct this information, and it gives you a whole bunch of added benefits in terms of your visibility online, who can find you, SEO, and all that jazz, which we'll dive into a little bit here too.
That's right. And there's so many benefits to this. I find it's like, that again, bringing up that direct connection to local foodies, food enthusiasts, the people that really are most interested in supporting this local food movement, for one. And the increased visibility is really important because you know, everybody has a business and everybody has a website now. So, I mean, we all get lost in internet land trying to figure out who we should work with and what is the best avenue to go. So, even if we have reviews, we still want that direct connection with that local community so we can really work with the people that provide the products we're looking for. And then it's like we get to like see the specific features and the unique aspects of each farm. The other day I was talking to a mushroom farmer and he's like, I really want to grow pink mushrooms. And I was like, who's ever heard of pink mushrooms before? Right? So I think the more we can share these features and these unique aspects of each farm, I think it's going to be really fantastic.
Exactly, right. Yeah, it's so much more than just like another spot to put your name and a link to your website, right? We want to be able to help you craft and share your story with the people who are interested in coming to Modern Farm Gate, because that's like kind of your very direct targeted audience who's interested in farm fresh foods, right? Rather than having to go out and compete with all of Google, if we are generating traffic for you in your own business and it's like this targeted traffic that's interested in local food, it makes a lot more sense for you to be there rather than in this broad vast ocean of all of Google, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how you put that because it really is. I mean, and when you Google something, sometimes you get listings that aren't even relevant to what you're looking for. So,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly, for sure. So I actually was kind of prepped here to share my screen just so people can kind of see what it looks like. So I will open that up here. And Christy, you tell me if you can see that okay.
Yeah. It's coming up
Per-
very nice. Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, what we have here is an entire food directory. You can search by farmers markets, retail locations, or just farms. If you know somebody in mind and you want to search by name, you can definitely do that as well. But if you're just kind of scrolling around, you can scroll on in here, and it will kind of populate, and you can see the different options on different areas there. And then once you've maybe found a location near you, you want to check it out a little bit more, you can just click on their little map pin, and that will bring you right over to their listing. So Farm Fresh Produce is a fairly generic name, might be a little bit hard to find, but apparently if you are near Outlook, Saskatchewan, that's where these guys are. And if you happen to be watching, come on over and claim your farm because you're able to update all of these details, tell us more about your farm, everything like that, as well as update any of your social media and website information too. All totally available to every farm out there, completely for free, along with the farmers markets and along with any kind of a local retailer that offers kind of farm fresh products in their store. So that's one element of it. And then if you're like, can't find my business, you're also able to head on over to a list your business site, and you can add your business in here. If for whatever reason we couldn't find you on Google initially, that is an option for you to add yourself there too. So hopefully that's pretty easy and straightforward for people, and they can go on and check it out. But we did want to talk about some additional benefits, I guess, just in general for SEO and why we even think this is a good idea across the board.
We get to find those small farm stores, like
Yes.
lots of farms have stores there. We get to find these many, many things. But beyond that, there's like that marketing aspect of things that people don't necessarily know is SEO. So can you say what that is, please?
Yeah, SEO is kind of one of those buzzwords. It's like, oh, I want more SEO. It's like, well, you're not even quite using it grammatically correct when you say it like that.
Yeah.
But SEO stands for search engine optimization. So basically, that's how you are getting ranked in Google. The really tricky part about SEO is that it's always changing. Google is of the best avenue. They want to try and always show you the best information as possible right at the top. So depending on how they're adjusting their algorithms, different things change, and your website ranking might change, or you might get more organic traffic or less organic traffic. That being said, there's some general principles, I guess, for local businesses that they want to abide by or go across. It comes down to providing quality content on your site, essentially. So providing the information that people are looking for, common questions they have about your farm, the type of products you sell, the pricing, how they can get it, what the process looks like, right? I mean, Chrissy, you're pretty familiar with this, but like beef farmers, for example, if you've never bought beef directly from a farmer, you might not know how to do that. So having that information on your site is helpful for new customers, for sure.
Well, and to add to that is that, like, I mean, even if you find a beef farmer that's relatively close to you, they might not necessarily deliver. You might have to go to the farm and pick it up. They might not even be selling directly to customers. So that information is really relevant when you're looking to buy local products, right? You really need to like, okay, first of all, are they close enough to me that I could pick it up or they will deliver? And is it, the products that I'm looking for as well, as you said, right?
Exactly. Well, and then the other important part is like not just around process, but like what makes you unique in the way you raise your animals, or do you follow different specific farming procedures, things of that nature. And especially if people are looking for, like, they want organic products, highlighting a lot that you are an organic farm is going to be important, and it's going to help you rank higher in the search engines if you mention that.
Yeah, that's right. Grass-fed, no, non-GMO, all those small details that we don't necessarily think of to add to a listing like that. And even though, like, even if you want to add that, that might not rank in Google anyway, right? So if that's not what Google's algorithm says is good for ranking, then it's not going to rank. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. One of the other kind of points too that kind of helps with ranking is the idea of your name, address, and phone number being presented frequently. Obviously, from a user standpoint, it's nice to know, hey, is this farm located near me? How do I contact them, right? But the idea is Google likes to connect all these little dots. And so if it can see that the name of the business as well as the address and phone number are consistently listed across a variety of places, it gives that sense of legitimacy to Google. So it's like, oh yeah, this is a real place. They're consistent about it, right? So if you have a specific address, use that same address every time. If you're, from Outlook, Saskatchewan, and you're putting, turn 2 miles left and cross at the big river or whatever, that's a different address than an actual physical address. So having those like be the same, that's a silly kind of a example, but having those be the same for Google it helps them pair them up properly as well. Same with the phone number. You might have different phone numbers. Make sure your public ones are the same across the board.
I think that's where we have the advantage, though. You know what I mean? So with the map listing that we've provided, it's an opportunity for them to not only provide that in a simple way, but it also provides that opportunity for people to, like, in that area, again, just coming back to that demographic. I don't want to search this entire area with every listing. I just want to know where I can find this particular type of beef. So,
Exactly,
yeah.
And then the other idea that really helps with your SEO ranking is useful content. So we were kind of alluding to it earlier. What's the process? What makes you stand out? What makes you different? But having, I guess, the longer people will spend on your website, the more useful Google interprets that being, and so that's just a high quality ranker there as well. So, yeah, don't be there's an art to this, I suppose, as well as a science, but being super brief and saying, hey, we sell beef, here's our phone number, right? That's not very like useful or not very engaging for people, but having more descriptions, telling your story, that kind of a thing, is going to be more useful for that, as well as like a lot of people out there are putting different blogs out, in terms of like, hey, this season is important, or here's why we feed our cows this, or that kind of a thing, right? And I'm using beef a lot as an example, but it applies across the board, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, and that in that sense, like, I mean, and I find that's like for me, even just as a business owner, I found that confusing and tedious. You
Mm-hmm.
know, when we speak about farmers and farmers markets and everybody, lots of those organizations from farmers markets are volunteers, you know, and then farms are like busy and they already have like a lot going on. So when we talk about, you know, the power of SEO, you know, when we can work with a farm and to optimize their SEO with them, I feel like, you know, we can definitely do that. We that's the intention. You know, we want farms seen and we want to be able to like advertise and share those really quality products with everybody on the internet.
Exactly. Well, and yeah, you mentioned the tediousness of it. Obviously, there's lots of different listing sites out there. I
Mhm.
mean, we could probably develop a guide or a quick overview of, hey, here's all the listing sites you should be a part of, um, make sure you're on all of these. Or if, I guess if people are wanting help with that, that's something we can help them out directly with as well.
Yeah, you know, and then of course coming down to it, we want to be that number one site, of course, for people. You know, and that's, you know, one of our intentions is to become that really connective local guide so that we aren't necessarily having to leverage all of those different sites. So people, when they're looking for farm specific products, they can just come to one place, which will become really important in the future.
Exactly. Well, and like that ties back into how this is the joint effort, right? So
Mhm.
the more that farmers markets, retailers, and farms are adding and claiming their listing, updating to have correct information, adding more, valuable content to their listing on Modern Farmgate, that's
Mhm.
going to help everyone out as a big whole, because since they're all listed, with us, that says, hey, Google, like this site's really helpful for anybody across Canada who's looking for local farms. So that, kind of elevates the search ranking and gets your farm more traffic directly in return, right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm. I think that kind of wraps up our main good points on SEO. We are, I guess, right now it's just the listings on our site. We are planning on coming out with a few different more options, including potentially some blogs, adding reviews, doing behind the scenes videos with farms, things of that nature. So we're always open to ideas, and if there's anything, I guess, you think we can improve or information you want to share through Modern Farmgate, we're all ears. You can come on over and connect with us.
Yeah, and like the one thing that I really wanted to touch base on was like just how we are able to engage the community online.
Mm-hmm.
So like with us being able to support social media, you know, that takes an opportunity for farms and retail locations and farmers markets to kind of like, I guess you could say, double down. You know, when they're working with us, we are working with their social media and ours, so we have that cross promotional opportunity, but then we also have that engagement aspect. So if you know, farmers markets or farms aren't necessarily able to like really stay online and engage all the time, which is a huge aspect of being on social media in the first place, you know, we are able to take that centralized type of social media and we can engage a lot more and across the board with everybody, including all of those different locations. So we can really optimize that intimate community setting where, but across social media and the internet. So, you know,
Exactly.
it becomes really important, right, to stay engaged with the audiences, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, and I mean that's the entire purpose here, right?
Yeah.
Engaging with people, live online.
Yeah.
Not everyone has the opportunity or is willing to kind of hop on and go online, and so by us promoting that essence and that concept, helps enhance the food movement, I suppose, across Canada.
The one thing I'd like to point out too, though, is that we didn't want to lose the authenticity of farms connecting directly with their customers. So we also provided an opportunity when you work with our memberships, you can also still sell with that cash option. So still being able to, meet customers one-on-one, have them pick up their products at the farmers market. We have several different type of memberships that we do work with. So we have lots of opportunities there, as you say, to, create those different aspects. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. A lot of different diverse opportunities for people, for sure.
yeah. Okay, well, we should probably let everybody go and chat again soon. And we will see you next week.